Hi, love bunnies. I hope you guys are all doing so well. Welcome or welcome back to the beauty house. As you can tell by the title, this is going to be an impromptu makeup look for the new year. You guys know I love a good little smoky eye. So, of course, I had to utilize the new year as an excuse to show you guys a simple follow along makeup smoky eye look for the new year. Hopefully you like this look. Hopefully recreate it. And let me see what you got. Thank you so much. And I hope you enjoy. Okay, love bugs. So this is gonna kind of be a impromptu, semi-impromptu look for the new year. I say semi because I did this look before, just on my own, just like testing things out, playing around with things. But because the new year's coming, I know people like to do like sparkly things and kind of out there things. I say, you know what, let me do this look again. So let's see how it turns out. Now, this is gonna be a Talk-torial. I know, such a cool name. Because we're clearly gonna be talking and chit-chatting, but I'm also gonna be showing you guys what I am doing pretty much. Now, from one of my last videos, the Inside the Beauty House Kit series, episode 2, you saw that I had tape because I was gonna do a smoky, I did a smoky eye. And this is also gonna be another smoky eye, really intense. So we're gonna start with tape because I want it to be extremely sharp. Now, for me, you guys know I would hope at this point, when I am doing a dramatic, I guess you could say, I start with my brows because that's just what makes sense in my brain to do. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start with my brows. And the good thing too, I would say, when it comes to doing smoky eyes for myself, now my brows could be a little bit more dramatic. So it could be a little bit darker, a little more sharp for me, because I love me a sharp eyebrow. So we could play around with that. So we're gonna start with our brows as per usual. So like I said, I did this look before and it was pretty much like a cut crease look. And so I'm like, I don't really do cut creases too often because, like I think I told you guys in like my previous videos, I don't do too much on my eyes because they water, and sometimes it's like it messes up the look and it doesn't come out how I want it to. So I try to stay away from doing like actual cut creases and fine lines and playing around with things, honestly speaking. So I try to keep it not basic as possible, but I try to keep it friendly for my eyeballs that I have, but still try to do a little razzle dazzle for you guys. One, to show my artistry, and two, for you guys to get inspired to want to do makeup on your own, to want to test it out or do it on other people, right? Like your clients or your friends or anything of that nature. So that's why I say, you know what, let me try to not necessarily step out of my comfort zone. It's just more so let me still try things and not utilize the fact that, you know, my eyes are watery to hold me back all the time, you know. So when I do decide to do certain colors or anything, I have to try to make sure I just do it real quick before my eyes say, all right, girl, I'm done. I'm going to start watering. So, you know, which could also be a little frustrating because doing some makeup looks, it really takes time to do. So it's like to do all that work and then right in the front corner, my eyes want to start watering. And so like the first half of the makeup comes off. And it can be real frustrating, you know, sometimes. So especially if I'm like trying out something new, if I'm really trying a new look or a new technique, it can be annoying sometimes, you know. And at this point in my life, I try to live a peaceful life as possible, okay? So if doing different creative looks is going right on my spirit, I'm just not gonna do it, okay? I'm gonna just keep it as simple as I can for you guys. Like I said, I still need to do looks where you guys still want to try it. You still want to say, you know what, that's a nice look. Let me test it out. Let me see if I could do that. So that's why, again, like I said, my eyes, that's just what it is. It's never going to change. It's never just going to all of a sudden, okay, they don't water as much as they do anymore. I have to accept it. It's just not, like I said, I have to work around it, you know. So that's pretty much that on that. Like I said, I had tried this look one time on my own just to see, like when I said, you know what, let me get back into makeup, see if I still got it. I said, you know what, let me test out this color scheme. Let me test out this color palette because we are going to be using ColourPop palettes today. I know you guys are probably sick of me, but don't be. But we are going to be using ColourPop palettes today. We're going to use one main one, but another one just for a few of the shadows in there that would add more dimension to my look. But again, too, like I said, this is kind of an impromptu a tiny bit because we're still going to go in with a few other eyeshadows because I had only one palette at the time when I did this look. And now I have another palette that has different colors that would add more depth and dimension to the look. And honestly speaking, I have another palette, so possibly 3 palettes that I'm going to be utilizing because it has another color that I think would just add another layer of depth to the look. So I'm really trying to think now if I want to do a cut crease or like a halo cut crease. So, you know, I'm still thinking of that in my head as I'm doing my eyebrows right now. Because, like, I think I mentioned it before. Sometimes when I do my looks, sometimes I plan it out just a tiny bit, just so I'm not stuck on camera for 5 minutes trying to decide, okay, what color, what look am I going to do? So I try to at least have an idea of what I want to do or what color scheme I'm going to play around with. But sometimes, too, you know, I'm always open to my Jesus saying, you know what, let's pivot. Let's try something new, try something different, right? So, like I said, I did this look before, but because of the different palettes that I have, now I'm trying to think if I still want to keep it to 100% how I did it the first time, or if I want to switch it up a little bit. So, that's why, you know, this is kind of an impromptu kind of a look. So, yeah. So this is for the new year. And you know what's so funny? I was like watching something the other day and it was talking about different things that people say and like get wrong and it doesn't make sense. Like when people say, oh, Happy New Year's. New Year's, that's the S, that's plural. It's like, what are you talking about? It's the new year, right? So it's Happy New Year. So I'm like, you know what's so crazy? People really do that. And I'm probably guilty of that, of saying that to people. Or probably not, because real life, real time with you guys, I'm really not the type of person to text Happy Thanksgiving, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas. Like, and I don't know if that's like a bad thing or not, or maybe I'm a bad friend for that, but it's just like, why I gotta say that? Like, maybe I'm tripping, but I just don't. Like, I'm never, like, I promise you, anybody in my phone book will probably tell you, yeah, I've never gotten a message from her first saying Happy New Year, happy, like, unless it's your birthday. Why am I saying Happy New Year and like, what? Why? Like, is that a bad thing, though? Like, I really want to know, guys. Like, is that terrible? Me, I'm really just, certain things I just really don't care for. It just really don't matter to me. Like, certain stuff I just could care less. If a person didn't say Happy New Year to me, I'm perfectly fine. If they don't say Happy Thanksgiving, Happy Christmas, I'm perfectly okay. Like, I don't, That don't do nothing for me anyways. So it don't really matter, you know, like you don't have to, you know. It's all good in my book. It's certain little things I just don't really stress about or care for. It is what it is. You know, just little old me. Carve out my brows with my tried and true foundation. And I'm just going to put a tiny bit on the back and carve out. But what are the New Year's resolutions you guys have? You know, I never... Again. Oh, eyeball. That was never my thing. I never said, you know what, for the new year, I'm gonna blank, blank, blank. Absolutely not. Because it shouldn't be, oh, because it's top of the quote-unquote new year, let me now do this and make these supposed goals. I believe that you should make goals in general throughout the year, if that's really a thing that you do, and not have to prove it to anybody, you know, more so prove it to yourself. And so when people, oh, for the new year, I'm gonna X, Y, and Z, just do it. Because if you wanted to do it, you would have already done it. It's just really that simple. If you wanted to do it, you would have already done it within the 12 months that you was given. You wouldn't now, okay, well, I'm gonna put this off for the next 12 months. No. If you wanted to do something, you would have done it. You know. Now, unless you're the type to make yearly goals, like, okay, so this year, blank, 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 actually accomplish them, actually, you know, do them throughout, makes sense. But if you know you're just saying it just because it sounds cool to say, don't lie to, you're not lying to anybody but yourself, right? You just gotta be honest with yourself at all times, in my opinion. You have to be, right? Like, don't, okay, well, I'm gonna make a New Year resolution because of, no. If you know you're not gonna start going to the gym, don't lie to yourself and say, you know what, I'm gonna start going to the gym. Cut it out, cut it out, cut it out. If you know you're not gonna start reading new books, don't lie and say, you know what, well, for the new year, I'm gonna cut it out, cut it out, cut it out. Stop, okay? Because again, you're not lying to nobody but yourself. That's really it, you know? That's it and that's all. And the other day, you know what I was thinking? I think I had this conversation with someone a little while ago. And then I was just sitting and thinking, chatting with my Jesus, and watching a video about when you turn 33. And if you guys want to watch it, you can look up this guy named Sadhguru, and he like kind of breaks it down. But there's also other people that break it down. Like when you turn 33, you know, those years prior to, and you know, all these other things, like things that should have happened or should have occurred by the time you're 33. Because, you know, you go through different cycles in life. You go through different cycles, age-wise, biology-wise, mentally. You go through different stages and phases, and you are supposed to reach certain milestones, I guess you could say. I would say, like, possibly like with development, right? Like kids at a certain age, they should be talking at a certain age, they should be walking at a certain age, they should be reading. So it's kind of the same thing when you are an adult. And so they was breaking down that when you turn 33, you should be a certain place in your life. And if you're not there at 33, it's either you're playing catch up or you're just going to stay behind. And then he also explained, but there are other moments in life where you will have a surge of growth again, right? I think he said for men, it'll be the age 42. For women, it'll be the age 46. So it just made me think, you know. And then I'm just like, when it comes to, and again, it all circles back to like the new year, right? If you really sit and think about it, like really think deeply. One thing to know about me, guys, I'm a deep thinker. I'm an intense thinker. I think deeply. I like to make sense of things. I like to know how things operate and navigate, and why they operate and navigate the way that they do, and how everything really connects back to nature and the Holy Spirit. And that's just, again, what it is on this channel. And that's just what it is. I'm going to keep it respectful always, right? So everything has seasons, right? Everything has its seasons. There's pretty much rules and the actual laws of nature, you know? And so on a worldly level, I guess you can say, the new year is, when it comes to like seasons, right? Or say years, if you really, to some capacity, just step out of your thought process for a moment, step out of yourself for a moment. As a whole, some people would say, oh, 2025 was one of the worst years. And a good majority of people could agree, right? A good majority could attest to that year because this, and this. And I think that sometimes, depending on the situation, sometimes as a whole, it could be that for some people, right? It could be, oh, this was the worst year and it was such a trying year. It was such, you know, and like I said, that could be true. But at the same time, for some people, it was an amazing year. It was a successful year. It brought more clarity. It brought more growth. It brought more prosperity. It brought more love. All of these things, right? And if you think about it, well, they say, I forgot where I found it or saw it at, and I was trying to Google and I could not for the life of me find more information. But they say the new year doesn't start January. They say the new year actually starts April. And that's a whole nother story time, okay? Like I said, I don't know too much, so don't ask me in depth, but I just heard that, okay? That it doesn't actually start January. That's not the actual beginning of the new year, right? Because if you think about it, like, it's cold, it's still winter time. Seasonally speaking, it's still winter time, right? In the winter time, a lot of things don't push forth, right? It's cold, right? The crops aren't the same or anything of that nature. But say in April, right, that's spring, new things, new beginnings. That's one explanation for, you know. So now, like I said, back to say years for people. If you think about it, the new year doesn't mean that it's the new year for every single person, right? Now you can let that sink in, think about it for a second. That doesn't mean that it's actually a new year for a person. And I can say that because, or again, let's just think about it. Just walk with me, talk with me, right? Because people are in different seasons within a year, then to my understanding, right, we could also say that we're also in a different year or in a different period of time in a year, right? We could argue that, right? Sometimes that 12 months, right, that 1 year could feel like 5 to a person. And sometimes that 5 years to a person could feel like 1. Because again, each person is in different seasons at different points in times in their life, at different points in times throughout that year. Say for 1 year, say for 2025, the entire 12 months was such a year of just, say if they had a business, it was slow business, their relationship went bad, they, you know, things, everything that they tried their hands at, it didn't work, doors was closing for them. It was just a terrible, quote unquote, year, like the whole 12 months. That could possibly just be a season that they was going through, where it was a season of a drought, right? Because again, besides years, the year, right, the 12 months also broken down into seasons, right? The 4 seasons, you have your fall, you have your spring, your winter, summer. It's also seasons. So in different seasons, different things are supposed to happen, different things are supposed to take place. So sometimes for one individual or a few people, it could be a season of growth, right? Everything is moving and shaking. Everything they touches is turning to gold. 2 seconds. So we're going to go in with the Stone Cold Fox palette from ColourPop. And in the under eyebrow, we're going to go in with Trip and Luxe. And we are going to go in on this little brush. And this is a smudger brush, but because it's small and I like the shape of it, I'm just going to use that under my eyebrows. But it could be a season for a person, right? Say if that whole year it was amazing, you know, they made great investments, you know, everything fell into place, they, you know, got a promotion. Wait, guys, I missed this step real quick. We're gonna set our eyeballs with a little bit of powder. It was a great year. They got a promotion at their job, you know, their kids was on track, their wife or their husband, you know, just even more blessings came from that, had a new baby, all these things, right? For one person or a few people. Well, again, that's say a season of prosperity. And then for another person, it could, like I said, everything just went downhill, down the drain. And a person could look at it as, oh, this is just the worst year ever. But sometimes if you believe in the Lord, that could be a season and a time of testing. Because again, with the Lord, everything is in order. So that could just be a season of, let me just test you, right? Like Job. Not to get all biblical, but like Job, right? Now, I don't know exactly how long everything transpired for Job, but clearly it was some time, right? If we go based on, it probably was some time he was going through whatever he was going through because so much events occurred. Again, I don't know off the top of my head how long it lasted, but clearly it was so much that was happening, right? Your wife is talking down to you. These other 3 men is saying you tripping out, homie. You losing your kids, your cattle, your food, everything. And again, it accumulates, and so now you feel a type of way. So again, that could have been, or that was Job's season, right? Of now we're gonna test you. So sometimes it could be that as well. You know, and so again, all just to say, you know, every single person is not always gonna be on the same accord, right? So say now coming into 2026, this could probably be an amazing year for some people, right? This could be now where that season of drought is over and that season of not having is over, and now is gonna go into prosperity. Now things is gonna look up for them. Now things is gonna be how they hope and prayed for, you know. And I don't think people take the time to think about things like that, you know, or think about it deeply like that, you know. Hopefully I'm not, you know, have you guys go off the rail like, girl, what are you talking about? But these are things that I think, you know, everything matters, everything connects, you know, and you have to really think deeply and intently and outside of yourself to really truly understand things, you know. Funnily enough, I watch every single thing under the sun that you could think about, but it's something about shows about animals that I just love. Everything about nature and animals and how things progress with them, how things happen for them, you know, the level of smarts, and they know when it's time to getting cold, so now let's migrate. It's getting hot, so now let's move here. It's just things happen in a certain kind of a way, you know, in nature, you know. And I think if we looked at it a little more, we could learn so much from nature. Don't crease brush. This is at this point my favorite brush. Now we're gonna go in with both of these colors. Because I'm a warm tone girl. Now wait a minute, I kind of put this out a little bit more to be more straight, more cat eye like. I'm hoping it comes across that way because this tape, honey. So when I'm placing my color, I'm gonna always drag it out. Okay. Still in the crease, of course, but always gonna drag it out. But I am a warm tone girl. So that means cool tones will kind of come across an ashy color or a grayish kind of color. But neutrals, what makes things neutral is because it is a mix of cool tone and warm tone. So we are going to play around with a bit of warm tones as well to really add back the dimension and the depth of this look. Because again, we're playing with a lot of cool tones. Gray is more so a cool tone. So we're going to be playing a lot with grays with this smoky eye today. So just those two colors, and we're just gonna work it in the crease as per usual, and we're gonna bring it out because like I said, I really want that look. Now I don't know how dark this is gonna be of a smoky eye, but we gonna see, honey child. Now again, like I think I told you guys, there's different ways to do cut crease. There's different ways to do smoky eyes. Some people start with the dark and then do the lighter shades like these. I just always like to do the lighter shades. I don't think I really tested out doing dark and then playing with the light shades. I don't think I ever did a smoky eye in that order. Maybe I should try it one day, but to me it just makes sense, or I just prefer doing it to where I'm smoking out this way, because I just believe it's more of a better gradient effect in my opinion, and it now gives the other colors something to adhere to. Like it's already a base in my opinion. So that's why I prefer to do it this way. So if you see, now I look really great. Like, oh my gosh, girl, what's happening here? I know. But it's all gonna come together. Then we're just gonna smoke it out. I'm just in the crease. And again, you know me, I always put that highlight color sloppily, because when we put our crease color, it's always gonna blend out anyways. So it don't even look like I put it crazy. It now comes together pretty much. And so we use the big dome brush because now we could just get it all over the lid how we want to, because again, this is pretty much just the base. So we're layering this pretty much. So this is just the base that we're playing with. Right, so this is where we at so far. A little bit more. I'm just gonna smoke it out. Like, honestly speaking, this is really not gonna be a crazy look, you know. It's gonna look intense. Hopefully it's not even better than what I'm thinking in my head. It's gonna be intense, but it's still simple. Like, smoky eyes are not complicated. It's just more so the blending, because again, a smoky eye could go bad real quick. So that's why blending, that's the key to a good smoky eye. Really blending and layering, blending and layering, you know, and going back and forth between your eyes, making sure that they are blended and it's not harsh lines, and they do what you need it to do. So again, just blending. And you know me, I always bring it up to my brow area, because again, I have a lot of upper lid, like hood, to work with, right? So this is where we at. Bring it up there a little bit, right there. That's that. We're gonna take a tapered crease brush, and now we are gonna go in with, so what is this brush? We're gonna go in with the Going Matte palette. You know I love matte shadows. Exactly, guys. We're gonna be playing around with this row. These row, if you can see, these are the grays. So now these is more so neutrals, you could say. So now, because it's neutrals, this is gonna add more depth. It's gonna bring depth back into the look that which we're going for, because it's grays, but it's more on the warmer tones. So I'm gonna take Comfy and what is this? Down Like. We're gonna take Comfy and Down Like, both of these. And we are gonna put it in this part, right? We're just gonna bring it out here. Now we're going to do this here like this, because this is going to, once we remove the tape, it's going to be dark here. And then we're going to look and put it right here in this area. And this will be the crease, but because of my lid shape, I'm going to keep my eyes straight and put it there and place it in that area. Excess, and then now we always tap off the excess because we don't want to just go straight in and then it possibly puts off too much color that we wasn't intending. Because when you have too much color, you can't really take it away. It's gonna still just bring it up to the end here, but mainly focus it right there in that crease area. Makeup to some capacity is not as complicated. It's really just shade and light. It's honestly just shade and light, right? This right now looks crazy and looks like it's no dimension, no depth, but because we added a darker color and because the way we placed it on our lids, now it brings dimension now. It's the funniest thing. And so again, just lightly blending it. Now we're going to add a few more colors because I still want to add even more depth to these eyes, honey. You're bringing in the new year, so you want to look like something, honey child, okay? But if you pay attention to, I'm not placing it on the lid, you know, and that's also why we open our eyes and placing it a certain way so that we still have the complete lid space to play with. Now I am bringing it exact, like, closely to the very end, just because, again, I want depth, so that's why I'm bringing it here. But honestly, we're just staying in the crease. So now on this eye, same thing. Really close there, right? Really close. Because I still want a sharp line. That's the whole point of why I put the tape, a real sharp line. And then I'm going to look straight and then just place it. If you need to look up a little bit, just so. Because again, their minds are, I have to look up a bit to really make my crease and define my crease. Right now we're starting to look like something. Go back in, same thing. But yeah, you know, I hope that this year was amazing for you guys. Hopefully it wasn't a tough one and a hard one. Hopefully it was, you know, also a learning one. You know, it's always good to learn each year and grow and want to be better for the next year. And you would hope that, you know, each year sets you up for a better one next year. So I hope it was a great year for you guys. So this is where we are right now, right? This is where we are. We're looking even as possible. So now we are going to add another layer of depth. Going back in with the Stone Cold, with the Stone Cold palette, and we're gonna go in with this shade right here called Rumor Mill. This shade, I don't know if you can tell, is such a gorgeous gray, honey child. So we're gonna take him by himself on this same brush, dab the extra, and now we're gonna kind of put it in the same placement of this gray that we have here. We're gonna kind of put it right underneath, close enough, but right underneath, but close enough. If that makes sense. So again, at the end, we're gonna at the end and then bring it up, same area. So let's hope you see now, just adding just that a little bit more depth. Hopefully, you know, it popped out in my mind. I'm hoping that it's zooming. Then just bring it in a little bit to the front. Now we could have just went in straight with this color, but again, you always want that gradation. You always want it to just look so seamless, you know. And I think that if we just went in with that on its own, it wouldn't have gave the look that I'm hoping for in my head, you know. It just the little steps matter, you know. So I think that laying down the other two grays first made more sense to me, because again, it's still adding that depth and you building that depth. And again, it's different shades of grays that we are playing around with, you know. So, and we want it to look good and really blend beautifully. Again, I want this really concentrated at the end. Bring up a tiny, tiny bit. And really concentrate at the end. Same crease area. So now it looks even deeper. Same thing, building up in that corner, right? Bring it up, still making sure it's even. And then, you know what's so funny? Every time, like, doing makeup, the funny thing about it is, like, it starts off so scary. It starts off so scary and terrifying. And then once it all comes together, it really comes together, like, seamlessly. And that's always the funniest part to me. Like, right now, these eyes probably look like, girl, what in the world is happening, right? But then when the lashes come on, the liner come on, the lid color, the foundation, and then it starts to, oh, okay. That's why, honestly speaking, whenever someone is in my chair, I never give them the mirror. Absolutely not. And when I used to work at Sephora and I used to do makeup, absolutely not. Like, you're not looking in the mirror. That's my number one rule. Because 9 times out of 10, a person, I kid you not, if I had $1 for every time a person said, I usually don't wear makeup, I want something natural, I would have been a multi-billionaire already. Okay? Most people who get their makeup done to some capacity never wore makeup in their life, or never wore it to a capacity of really being glammed and a real full face of makeup. So in their minds, it's automatically a thought of, I don't want to look like it's too much makeup. I don't want it to look like I'm wearing. At the end of it all, you're going to have to put product on. That's that, right? You're putting on product. You're going to put on full coverage. This is what's 9 times out of 10, right? Depending on the look. You're putting on full coverage. You're putting on concealer. You're putting on all these things. And to make makeup look even more natural, unfortunately, is a lot of these steps that has to go into it. To make it look natural is now more so about technique, right? And again, how you prep the skin, or all these things, you know. And a person is not used to seeing themselves dolled up, so it's automatically, I want it more natural, right? And so at this point, if I'm doing a woman's smoky eye and she sees this, she's probably gonna think, okay, this is too much. I don't want it. I don't like it. Take it off. Absolutely not. So that's why I always had a rule of, I'm not gonna show you my work. You're gonna see it at the end. Because at this point, you want to make tweaks and critiques, and it's not completed, right? Because they don't understand that it's steps to these things. It's a process. It's steps, right? To anything. So at this point, this would scare them. So that's why I'm like, you're not looking in the mirror. You're not doing none of that. You're gonna wait, and you know, that's it. It has to be a very, very serious situation as to why I'm showing you your makeup look before I'm ready to show it to you. But I promise you, 9 times out of 10, absolutely not, you're going to see the makeup look. Absolutely not. It's not happening like that. Now we're going to go in with Rock Bottom. That's our black. Now, same brush right in this corner. Again, same thing, like the grays, put it right at the end there. And this is going to be placed underneath. So right under where we just did all of that. Now we want to focus this more so on the end, and a tiny bit like a little V shape. Just a tiny, tiny bit. I'm going to smoke it out. Just really in the V. Because I wanted it to be mainly a gray smoky eye. I didn't want it to be a black smoky eye. We always do black smoky eyes. So I wanted to really be a gray focused smoky eye. So that's why we just really keeping this towards the end. And really just buffing it right in that corner area at the end. Just a little V shape, little up there, not too much. So this is right here, right? So like we could say this is like 1/3, keeping it right there. I just added depth and dimension right there. So keeping it towards the end. Now we're doing circles here just so it's softer. If we just went back and forth, that would be too harsh. Like I said, I don't really want it to be too black there. So we're just gonna circle motions. Make up if you have to. Just keep it right in that corner. Now this is just deepening up what we just did. Just bring it up slightly, like at the end, just real slightly at the end. See, real slightly at the end, we brought that. Just again, you see my placement of the brush is towards the back, just a little lightly, like I'm barely touching it, just because, just a tiny bit, just to blend it just a little bit there. So it's just all flush of a color and not just, you know. So if you look, it's kind of like that 1/3. That's why a tapered crease brush I love. And I have a video explaining the brushes and your 3 must-have eyeshadow brushes. And I love a dome tapered brush. Like, I just love it. It's great for placement in the corner, but also blending how we want it to be blended out. Again, just a little bit, just so it just all looks good. And again, it's on camera too, so it have to look a certain way as well for you guys, you know. And I'm liking how this is looking. Same thing, right in the corner. Just buff it, because we're still building. And as I do my eyes, I think I told you in one of my other videos, my eyes literally are 2 different shapes of it. And because I'm doing my eyes, I can tell. So even, again, placement, I have to place things a certain kind of way so it evens out. And so you guys wouldn't even be able to tell. Again, like right there. Right there, we want that little corner. Bring it up a tiny bit. This part a tiny bit. And buff it against circle motions. Tiny bit, buff it a little bit. Just ever so lightly. Just so, again, that seamless blend that we're looking for. And guys, we are really almost done. There's different smoky eyes you guys could do for the new year, right? Like, you could do like a soft smoky, right? To where it's like a certain shade of silver or a certain like golden smoky eye, you know? Like, I was gonna give you guys a makeup look for like a makeup look, like say for the Christmas or like the holidays. I'm like, not interested. Like, and I'm just being honest with you guys, you know. I'm really not a holiday kind of person. Like, that's just really not me, you know. It's just, I don't know, you know. But it's always beautiful to me, you know, people who are into the holidays and they want the they want to set up the tree and, you know, the colors and the cookies and the candles, and that's always cool to me though. Like, I'm never gonna knock a person that loves, say, a certain holiday or a certain something because I don't like it. Like, I'm not a cynic, and that's annoying because there are some people who, because they hate something, now it's like, I'm gonna be a Debbie Downer. No, like, you know, you have to consider other people. You know, you have to get outside of yourself sometimes. You know, like, just because the holidays is probably not the best for you, don't put that energy on someone who loves it, you know. And that doesn't even mean that their holidays was the best. It could just be, it was probably terrible as a kid, but now they're older and have a different outlook. So now they're going to approach it differently, you know. So it's just, you got to give people a break sometimes. Like, you know, don't be a negative Nancy all the time, you know. Again, a little bit, just buff a tiny bit. We are going to do a cut crease, right? But nothing too crazy. This is going to be like a slight cut crease for my eyeballs that I can bear to deal with. I am gonna take this concealer brush. I'm gonna go in with the highlight from my Lift and Sculpt palette. I'm gonna go in with this color because of the consistency. So just a tiny bit. Now this matters because you want this crease to be so sharp. Now we're gonna do this one eyeball at a time, because if you move too fast, honey, it could go haywire. So I'm just gonna bring this. The level of concentration that's happening right now, you guys don't even understand. I'm gonna really pack that. Okay, so now I'm trying to keep my eyes down for you guys. I'm thinking, and this is You Can Be Brandt Fantasy palette. I couldn't help myself. We are gonna go in with this shade right here. Brushes back on. See, when you use your fingers, just does what it needs to do. Pack it on. Right at the end there. Right at the end. You want at the end because now it's meeting up with that black shade that we had there. So we're gonna bring it up a little bit more. Just to like half the eyeball. Because you want it to really be packed in there. And then now, on another finger, the actual star of the show, honey, we are going in with Magnetic Moon. When I tell you this color is gorge, honey, gorge is not even the right word for it. Let's just use our middle finger. Look at that. Right there. Is that not gorgeous? And if you say it's not, you're beyond a hater. Okay? And I don't like it. On the crease. Bring it up if you can. Then we're just gonna have it so where we're now blend it over. Now you're putting it slightly on that color at the end. So now it comes together as one. Tell me this color isn't gorge. And then now, same exact thing on the other side that we're gonna do here. We're gonna try to get this as even as we can. Now, same again, ring finger. We're gonna go in. You know what's so funny? I never use those highlight in that palette. I use a Contout. Never use the highlight in that palette. Same shade again on a finger. Again, just that corner there. Pack it there. We're gonna pack it really good there. So again, on my middle finger, that color, the cone stone. Now this time we're trying to try to work fast, guys, because you know these eyeballs are mine right there. This color is the showstopper in this palette for me. Like, it's just such a gorgeous color, and it's a metallic. It's not a shimmer. There is a difference. Shimmer has more of a gritty type of feel to it. Shimmer is more pressed, is more finely milled, I would say. And then just that. So now it could mesh right there and bend beautifully. See, so that just did a little 1 2 1 2, right? So now, like I said, this is actually real simple. Look, we're gonna remove the tape and reveal sharp line. You know me, guys, okay? Sharp line. Now, depending how I feel, I might deepen this a tiny bit more. We'll see how I feel. And I feel like I will. Back with the black. Let's brush again. Just right there. Brush it up. Right there. Just keep it right there. Focus right there. Up a tiny bit. Again, black right there. Deep it right there in the socket. Press it in. Blend up a tiny bit. Just where this this line meets. Just press it right there. Bring it up a tiny bit. Just right there. We're going to keep it right there. We just want the ends to be really dark. Tiny bit up. Tiny bit. Tiny bit up. Tiny bit. Tiny bit up. Right, so this is where we are right now. We're gonna work on the face now. Perm, I already moisturized, so that's my primer. So now we are gonna spray this a little bit with our Dragon's Blood as per usual. Close. I actually liked it. I think I told you guys to carry my Ipsy bag when I had Ipsy at the time. We'll see if I renew it for the new year. We'll see how I feel. I actually do like it. I would say it does add a little bit of hydration as it claims. So we're gonna do that. Spray that down. A little bit of the Milani, which I'm going to get another one real soon. Gonna let this dry down a tiny bit. And I'm starving. And we are gonna go in with a tiny bit of my MCO Beauty. It's a nice little, a tiny bit, just a little bit on the back of the hands. Don't want the back of the hands? Yeah. I think I told you guys, I'm considering putting this in my actual kit, because I think I told you guys, like, I love how it actually looks. Like, it really gives such a beautiful glow, honestly speaking. So, you know us and our 20 foundations. So, we're going to go with our E.L.F. 1, 2, 3. We're going to go in with our flat top foundation brush. Guys, so I was planning on doing a look for you guys. I'm lying to you. I was planning on doing a like wash my brushes. But guys, when I tell you I had so many brushes, like old brushes that I needed to wash, and then my new brushes, and I had to like get videos out for you guys, I couldn't. So I might have to wait again until a set of my brushes are dirty. But honey, I washed all of my brushes. Like, And I'm so proud of myself. But like I said, I kind of wanted to show you guys, but it was too many and I had to get some videos out. So, and I couldn't use dirty brushes. Like, you have to really wash your brushes, you know? So, I'm like, next time, I'm going to take it to the ear. The circular motion. So, stippling and circular motions we're going in with. I am breaking out. I'm just like, my face is not used to makeup like that because, like I said, it's been so long since I really wore makeup. So me playing in makeup, I think my skin is still trying to make sense of it all. Because I'm not breaking out terribly, but I know my skin to where it's like, girl, we sick of you. I'm sick of you. And that's what my skin is pretty much doing at this point. But I'm glad that, like, if I do break out, it doesn't last a long time, which is great. But it's just like a nuisance to me, you know? And close to the eyebrows. Blend it out. Then we're gonna take a beauty blender, right? Real calm. You know, I like to spray everything. And I already damped it, so it kind of not as damp. Bonk it. Because this is gonna give that airbrush look. Now everything together. Right? You see, not a lot came off. So again, with that brush, we did it how we needed to. So it blended and melted how it needed to. So this is where we are right now, right? So me, I'm going in with my tried and true LA Girl Pro Concealer in a creamy beige. And I want it to be really highlighted, okay? And I don't care what you say. Because what? Because what I want exactly. You're learning. You're learning. Then we're going to go in with the Maybelline. Just because. Right? Because we want to. I'm going to let that settle a tiny, tiny bit. Glitter. I forgot a tiny bit. On the eye a little bit. Thing on the side. Oh my gosh, I hate when my eyes start to all of a sudden something in my eyes. All of a sudden. Airbrush concealer brush. Dab it. And I'm gonna try something a tiny bit different today to see if I like the end result. You know, I try to do different techniques and things with you guys. Because you gotta see like what actually like works for you. You know, like, because different people is different techniques. You know, I have creases under my eye. So I have to set my eyes first before I go in with a cream blush or a cream contour or something like that, you know? So everybody is different. That's why, again, technique matters, you know, because it's not going to be the same for every single person, right? I like this, but I like it more highlighted. So I may add a little bit more. I'm just gonna blend it. As long as we blend out like the edges, that's really what matters, because again, we could always go in and just always finesse. So this is where we at so far, right? Now I'm gonna do this one at a time, right? So like I said, I'm gonna try a different technique right now. So I'm gonna pat that out, right? Take my beauty blender, run out the edges just in case anything got like, you know, a little smudge or anything. Do that. And then make sure it's all good. So I'm gonna try this thing out to where I'm gonna take a little bit on this is my under eye powder brush, an amazing brush, and put it right under that area. Put it a tiny bit more, right in that area. And I'm gonna see some because I'm gonna set this again, but like I said, I wanna see something like I got, because again I have creases under my eyes, so I have to do different techniques. So I'm gonna test out this technique to where I'm gonna place my concealer, set it, and then do my other cream products, and then come back to see if it's gonna give the look in which I'm looking for. So again, I'm gonna test out this technique. So again, same thing on this eye, run it out. Because again, you know, makeup isn't magic, you know, and I'm not gonna do any type of, you know, Botox or anything to, you know, let my wrinkles go away. No, like it is what it is. That's it. It comes with the territory, you know. It's just how do we work around it. So that's when artistry and technique comes into play, you know. Oh, look at that's when artistry and technique come into play. And again, studying and learning, you know, and knowing my face and knowing what I have and what I don't have. You know, I have creases under my eyes, you know, so that's what I have to work with. So now it's just how do we work with it, you know? Let me just make sure that's good, right? You know, so how do we work with it, right? It's technique. That's all that it is. Make sure that's good. Okay. That's it. It's just technique. So, I mean, also aside for myself, also for my clients, right? There's going to be some clients who also have the same issue as I do, you know? It's amazing working on people who don't have that issue of creases. It's amazing because now I'm able to do their contour, do their blush, do their highlight, all in one shot, you know? But me, honey child, So I'm just gonna lightly set under the eye. And now I'm gonna work with the other cream products. Then really set, again, everything pretty much. You know, I love to come to my forehead. You know, I always put it like high for you. Let me see, because this is my next mirror right here. Cool tone, so it pops up more cool. So it pretty much just add a little bit of warmth. Same thing with this. Nothing here. Let's keep right here. See how that's coming out. This is where we are. My stomach has no home training. Like, absolute worst. Now I'm gonna do a blush. I'm gonna go in with Glam, right? But I still want a little bit of a highlighted look because I'm not really going to go too crazy. I'm probably really just going to focus on contour and a nice highlight. So I'm going to do a little bit of that. Now we're testing this out, guys. So we're going to see. It's a She Glam color. Put it right there. We're going to see because I'm a little nervous. Okay, I'm going to go with this brush. Let's see. What's wrong with that? Right here. Look like something, guys. Okay. Because like that blush, it really wasn't pinky. And I didn't really want it to be a pinky color. Like I really want the focus to be on the eyes. So I didn't really want to utilize a pinky color. But I did want some kind of, you see that sheen? I wanted some kind of dimension. That's why I went in and added this. So this is the Flawless Glow by MCO Beauty in number 4 medium. And it's a lighter shimmery shade. So that's why I said let me mix a tiny bit of it. Because again, you know, I was thinking in my head, I want a blush, but I don't really want it to be pink. I really don't want to play around with pink. I just want it to be more bronzy on the skin. And everything else just really be the focus of the eyes. So again, this is, you guys understand, I really be testing things out because of you guys. So this is also helping me. And then I'm just blending it on the back of my hand. Blend it together. This is really, for me, then my skin, my artistry. So I start from the back here because that's where most of the product would be. Then just bring it to the front. I like it to really like be on my cheekbone. So, but also still blending it with the contour. And I like this color too because it falls beautifully in line with the contour that we have. So it doesn't disturb. It just adds a little more pop of dimension, if that makes sense. Right? So just, okay, I think I like this brush for this. Now we're going to go back and really set under the eyes. So I'm going to take on my little sponge. Do a little 1, 2, 1, 2. Make sure it's even. Go again with the brush. Look up. And take it. My girl. Now the good thing too, with the placement of this also would set what we just did. Looking up. I'm gonna press it in that area. And kind of on where we just put that as well. And then a little bit more, just a tiny bit to kind of bake. Just a tiny bit. Don't have to, but a little bit. Then we could do down the nose. You guys could tell, like, I never cream contour my nose, ever. It just doesn't occur to me to do it. So I just don't. Hopefully it gets all even on my brush. This step. Now I want to get an actual setting powder that's close to my skin, or pretty much close to the foundation that I use. I mean, this is good for all over, but just for me, I would want one closer. I prefer this one for baking, honestly speaking. And so now on my puff, because I want to cut underneath here, just dab a little bit, you know, in the curve. This curve underneath. Nice little curve underneath. Like some people just do a line. Your face is in a line. You got cheeks, right? You want it to curve. Again, just trying things. Right? Again, I'm crease there. I don't know. And so we are gonna bronze up the skin a bit. Take both my colors. Dab a little bit in my hand. Then now you know us. You know we love a good bronze, honey. It looks good. You know, the hairline. Bring it up a bit. Sweep it up. Yep. I need to find a bronzer that's more on the warm brownie side. I really don't like that bronzers. A good majority play on the red side. This is where we have our bronzer. Like, I really don't like that. So I'm gonna go in. I'm probably gonna mix this Wet n Wild with an eyeshadow. I'm gonna use some of I Dig It. That's like a, we're gonna see when we put it on, right? Because that is this color. So it's still grayish but neutralish at the same time. And that's what I want to do. So we are gonna go in with, y'all want to use this brush? Give me just, oh, this is thing. Let's use this brush. So I'm gonna put Dig It, right? I'm gonna dab some off because we don't know. I'm nervous, guys. It's right there, the highest point. It's right there. This at the highest point. You guys not usually like bring it down here. No, just the highest point. Our nose, we are gonna do, we're probably gonna use that same color, I'm not gonna lie. Down the middle of the nose. And of course, bring to the eyebrows. You guys didn't know. Down the side, up to the eyebrows. Hopefully it looks good on camera. The gray undertones when you contouring. So this is looking like more a snatch contour nose. So that's that. We're gonna go in with Comfy. So we're just gonna build this up, right? We're gonna build the intensity up. this is where we at. And close to the lash line. Close to the lash line. This is how we build up that smoke again. You know, because if we just go in with the black, it could be too harsh. So this is where we are so far, right? Closer to that lash line. To really smoke it out. So I'm going to do my liner off and apply the lashes. Then I'm going to come back to finish up everything else. Okay, loves. So this is it with some black eyeliner. Smoke the bottom out a little bit more. Add in some lashes and some bottom mascara. And you know me, when you do a smoky eye, don't do no play lash. Okay? Do real lashes. So now we are going to just spray to set all the powders. And we are going to do our lip combo. So again, the Milani Make It Last Original. We're just going to spray. So that little jazz number. And while that settles and do what it needs to do, the lip combo we are going to go in with today. You know my tried and true. You know I always have to use espresso. So I need to get more lip liners, but this is again from NYX and Espresso. I think I showed you guys the ones. I definitely did show you guys the one that I have in my kit for my clients, and I absolutely love those colors. So, and it's so smooth. So I definitely need to pick some up for myself. But you guys know, I'm a creature of habit. I told you guys. Hold up now. I hope you guys like this look and recreate it and show it to me and wear it for New Year's. Look what I said. Wear it for New Year. For the New Year. Now, I am in search for the perfect nude lipstick. Like, in search, because I used to have them, but I think I'm being forced to go to MAC. I don't like that. And then I found one from Dose of Color, which definitely used to wear back in the days, honey. But the color that I like is always sold out. So it makes me a little sad. So this is where we are with the lips. Again, the brown, just always add a little bit of warmth, right? So because technically this is cool tone eyeshadow colors that we are playing around with. Now, when I bronze everything up, it pretty much kept it warm. So now it neutralizes out. We are going to go in with Wet n Wild in 11-11-402 Never Nude. This is all trial and error, guys, okay? I'm testing this out. I'm a little nervous. You guys like? Now, this is a matte. I think I like, guys. Because, you know, when you swatch things on your hand, and then when you swatch things and you put it on your lips when you don't have a face on, it looks a little like, what the hell is going on here? But, again, with Espresso being the lip liner, it added a warmth to it, but still kept it a little cool because again, of the eyes. So I think this is a good combo. And I wanted to do a lipstick because a gloss would be a dash bit for me. But if you wanted to go in with a lip gloss, you definitely can. If I did, I would have went with my tried and true fortune cookie, or I have one. I have to show you guys the one it's coming, and it is the shade Hush Hush. That's gorgeous, well, from NYX. So this is the look. I am gonna do my hair and come right back. Okay, love bugs, this is the final look. My hair done up, I guess you could say, the makeup and everything. And I did a little hoodie. This is specially made for me. But I did this color because I kind of wanted to also show you guys the contrast between gold and silver, how it still looks and plays beautifully together. I hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial. As per usual, I hope you guys go and try it out, test it out. Let me know if you love this look. Let me see the photos. I hope you guys have an amazing, safe new year if you choose to go out or do anything. I'm hoping nothing but blessings in the new year for you guys. Continue to watch, continue to subscribe, continue to share and tell a friend. I hope that the remainder of the year was amazing because you met my channel. You came in contact with me. Hello. As I always say, the true foundation of beauty starts from within. Makeup is just the cherry on top. I hope you guys love this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I hope you guys recreate it. I cannot wait to see you in the next year. Much love and be safe.